Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the PS4 game Until Dawn. Now, as you know, Until Dawn is a 2015 interactive drama horror game which was developed by Supermassive Games, as well as being known for doing their sort of virtual reality spin-off Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, and a prequel, and the spiritual successor, the Quarry, that was released in 2022. I remember seeing some videos of Until Dawn, and after kind of getting the game, sitting down to play it, I actually think it really does a good job in doing the horror stuff right. So the premise of the game is meant to follow how, 1 year after the disappearance of Josh's twin sisters, we kind of see how Josh arranges for Sam, Emily, Matt, as well as other friends to come to the Washington Lodge, which is in a snowy mountain-like area. And over the game, everything seems fine, but we kind of see how strange things going on around Washington Lodge, as well as the mountain area. And of course, in the process of the game, you also find pieces of puzzles to what's going on. You also understand that there might be more going on with Washington Lodge, as well as learning about the sort of Wendigos and a unknown stranger with a flamethrower, sort of trying to take down the Wendigos. And I think for the most part, I think what Until Dawn gets right at, it actually knows how to do the horror stuff right. Because, it knows when to do a jump scare when it needs to. It doesn't try to rely too much on that. And the game does have the whole quick time events. Doing a certain quick time will help you progress quicker, but if you take more time with it, then some characters will and can survive. And the whole game relies on the sort of butterfly effect. In doing so, you can kind of see how, making one decision might end up making a sort of good choice, but if you kind of end up making a really dumb decision, your character will end up dying. And of course, the point of Until Dawn is putting the pieces together, learning more about the Wendigos, and finding certain evidence and using your sort of surroundings to figure out what's going on. And I think the game does take a lot of inspiration from Friday the 13th because, I think the point of Josh is meant to be a bit like Jason's mum. Because I think, much like Jason's mum, you can tell Josh chooses to blame his friends than blaming himself, as he drank way too heavily and never took any responsibility for his actions. And it's kind of clear that, some characters do regret what happened to Josh's sisters. And you can tell some of them do understand they messed up, some don't want to admit it. And I think the point of Until Dawn has a bit of a message. I think the message with Josh is about taking responsibility for your actions, but also understanding that what happened wasn't completely your fault. And the message with basically some of the friends who took part in the prank is that it's important to take responsibility for your actions, and that sometimes pulling a prank will get you into a lot of trouble. And I think really the game really does try to tackle the subject of how, you're gonna make a choice. Sometimes making choices is not gonna be easy. And sometimes you're gonna get yourself into a lot of trouble. I think what else I give Until Dawn credit is kind of knowing how to set things up. Like, when you kind of have these sort of sessions in between each chapter, you've got Dr. Hill, and who will mainly talk with the player, studying their sort of fears, emotions, insecurity, and so on. I think the point of Dr. Hill is meant to be a moral compass to Josh, trying to learn more about what makes him tick, and in doing so, you start to see the sort of room around him starting to deteriorate. It shows you just how Josh is slowly becoming more and more deranged and chooses to kind of play the victim, then take any responsibility for his actions. And word of advice, if you are going to drink at a party, be sure to do it responsibly. Have one or two, or go and drink soda or something. And I think for the most part, my thoughts on Until Dawn is that, yeah, it's a game based on the whole slasher horror stuff done right. Because, yeah, you've got underground mines, you've also got a sort of a sane asylum, which you kind of process through, that has the Arkham vibes, as well as trying to learn more about what happened to Josh's sisters, as well as learning about who the Wendigo are, and kind of avoiding them. And I think what's interesting is, yeah, when you kind of have the PS3 prototype, it does show you what they really wanted to do, and actually put some time in deciding what would have worked, what could have happened, and what might have been had they not moved on to the PS4 port. So I think this game definitely deserves a thumbs up. It goes back on the old horror stuff. It knows to do the jump scares. It's a game I think definitely deserves a lot more respect. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.